and go.
I'll call the October meeting of the Waterworks for the town of St. John. Get the roll call, please.
Dr. Chavez is, I guess, kind of with us. So I will indicate if he comes back for the record if we get him back. Ken Gambala?
Here.
Bill Manasopoulos? Okay. So you have 2 members, potentially 3 members, which is does constitute a quorum. And then Craig Phillips present and Wayne Pondinas? Present. Okay.
Okay. Approval of the minutes of the September 15th meeting. Any questions, additions? None? I was not there, but I'll, to get a second to approve it in conduct, to show the record, if there's any future objection by the member that's not here. So be it. You want to make a motion? All right. All right, I'll second the motion. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Motion carried. Under our new business tonight, we have resolution number 2020-10-20-WW. I'll read it. Resolution of the Board of Waterworks of the Town of St. John, Lake County, Indiana. Waterworks District approving a temporary loan from the Waterworks utility of the town to the Sewage Works utility of the town in all matters related thereto. Whereas the Town of St. John, Lake County, Indiana has heretofore established, constructed, and financed a municipal waterworks and now owns and operates waterworks pursuant to the provisions of IC 81.5-1 as amended, and heretofore established, constructed, and financed the municipal sewage works, and now owns and operates the sewage works pursuant to provisions of IC 36-9-23 as amended. Whereas the Waterworks, through the Board of Waterworks of the Town of St. John, Lake County, Indiana, Waterworks District, and of the Town Council of the town, will establish a cash reserve fund pursuant to provisions of IC 8-1.5-3-11 to be funded from surplus earnings of the Waterworks. Whereas the provisions of IC 8-1.5-3-11F permit the Waterworks to make loans from the cash reserve fund to the sewage works for periods not to exceed 5 years and at any interest rate. And whereas the Waterworks, through the board, seeks to make the loan to the sewage work in connection with the financing of a lift station project to be undertaken by the sewage works under the following conditions. A, the loan shall be for a term of 5 years from the date of ordinance number 1717. B, the loan shall bear interest at the rate of 0% per annum during the term. C, the loan shall be prepayable by the sewage works at any time during the term upon 7 days prior written notice to the Waterworks. Whereas the loan shall be junior and subordinate in all respects to any boards that are currently outstanding, which pledge any portion of the revenues of the Waterworks collectively. Whereas the board now seeks to approve the loan pursuant to IC 8-1.5311. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Waterworks of the Town of St. John, Lake County, Indiana, Waterworks District as follows. The loan in amount not to exceed $2,500,000 is hereby approved pursuant to the provisions of IC 81.53-1. The loan shall be junior and subordinate in all respects to outstanding bonds. The loan shall be funded from the funds on hand in the Waterworks Cash Reserve Fund. Section 2, that any officer of the board is hereby authorized to approve and execute any and all documents necessary to complete the loan, and the execution of any such documents by any such officer shall be evidence of such approval. Section 3, that in any section, clause, provision, or portion of this resolution shall be held to be invalid or unconstitutional by any court of competent jurisdiction. Such decision shall not affect any other section, clause, provision, or portion of this resolution. Section 4, that this resolution shall take effect and be in full force and effect from after its passage and adoption by the Board of Waterworks of the Town of St. John Waterworks District in conformance with applicable law. All of which is passed and resolved this blank day of this month by the town of St. John, Lake County, Indiana Waterworks District Board of Waterworks. You want to comment on this?
Sure. So essentially what this is back in 2016, the Board of Waterworks loaned the sewage works funding and financing in terms of the financing related to a lift station project. There was a resolution passed back then, and it was to be paid back within a 5-year period. That hasn't taken place, and our financial advisors at Baker Tilly are proposing that the sewage works pay back that loan to the Waterworks Board, and then that the Waterworks Board reloan that $2.5 million back to the sewage works to be paid over the course of the next 5 years in equal installments beginning in 2021. So we're basically doing this so that we don't get into any situations where we're not in compliance with state regulations as they pertain to these kinds of loans. So, and as you know, that first loan had to do with the financing of that lift station project, and that project was done. But this is a mechanism that we need to take care of in order to basically remain in compliance with those regulations. So the reloaning of that money to the sanitary, or to the sewage works, I should say, is allowable by law, and it's the recommended course of action that's been suggested by our financial advisors at this time. So,
Yeah, this apparently is not something new. It was done in 2016.
correct.
$2,500,000 for 5-year period to the sewage works, again for a lift station project. So it's not something something new created. Any comment? No discussion?
Dr. Chavez, can you hear us?
Do we still not have Jack, or is Jack is
No. It shows as Dr. Chavez is being online, but
he said he can hear us.
Yeah.
We can't hear him though.
Since this is a financial load, I'm going to see if there's any questions. Any comment? Hearing none, I'll have a motion, I guess.
I'd like to make a motion to pass the resolution.
Okay, I'll second it. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Motion carried.
and Dr. Chavez says aye.
Aye? Okay,
Oh,
we had
oh.
three ayes.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so am I going to show him as present then? You okay with that?
Yeah, that's what,
Since we're communicating with him?
But you do have to do a roll call vote.
But I would have to do a roll call vote on that, so just to make sure that we're square on that, we'll do a roll call vote. So, Dr. Chavez, he said aye, and he referenced that.
Yeah, it's on the screen, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Gambala,
yes.
Mr. Manasopoulos. Okay, so you have, that passes 3-0.
Okay. All right, next thing on the agenda is update on the SCADA system for request for proposals. We've had some informal meetings on this, trying to get this SCADA system moving along. A lot of things were discussed through our town engineer and so forth. And I guess the bottom line to it all is it looks like the best route to go based on our own people recommending it, and the town engineer not wanting, saying expertise-wise, to get involved with it. The recommendation from the IT director, Bob Davis, Bob Velius, and so forth, is to present a request for proposals for the SCADA system. And it's outlined in this document. I'm not going to read it all for the proposal because there's some technical issues, things in here and so forth. I guess it's on the agenda as an update. Are we looking for some kind of a recommendation or motion on this?
Yeah, just looking for a recommendation to advertise the RFP as drafted. I'll just, if I could just add to this a little bit.
Okay.
So since the last board meeting, the last, I guess, conversation we had on this was that we were preparing the bid documents and the bid specs, so, for that. Since that time, we received guidance from our attorneys that perhaps the better way to handle this would be to go through a request for proposals process instead. And so we drafted, in conjunction with the IT director, the Public Works director, and Bob Vlois, we drafted the document that you have in front of you, which lays out kind of some background, the requirements of what needs to be included in the system and what the system needs to control, and then the process by which proposals will be submitted and reviewed. It's been reviewed. It's also been reviewed by our attorney, Dave Westland. He made some minor suggestions to the language which have been incorporated, as well as some suggestions made by Bob Davis and Bob Valois. So, happy to answer whatever questions you have. Jason, our IT director, is also here with us. But at this point, the plan would be just to look for approval from the board to put this RFP out. We would intend to put it out to a group of potential candidates that would be able to submit proposals. And then for that to be, to have proposals received by your meeting on November 17th. And then for us to open and read those aloud, and then consider the recommendation to the board after town staff and others involved in the process have had a chance to review those and make a recommendation. So that's the plan at this point, to continue moving this forward.
Yeah, we want to fast track this situation here, do it
Yeah,
properly and
probably, and we'll-
correctly, but fast track it. And
What we'll probably do is, at that November 17th board meeting, we'll ask for permission at that point, based on review by the attorneys and staff, to allow us to go ahead and select a proposal and award, and start, award that and work on developing a contract with the chosen respondent that we would like to work with.
Yeah, rather than having
Keep
the
things
time to have an engineering firm design it and then put together a bid package and then advertise that, and then having another firm that come in and build it. This is a design build,
Correct.
which would make it much quicker to get it done. So, do you have a motion, or do we have a motion online, or what?
Just a motion to advertise, or I'm sorry, to distribute the request for proposals.
I'd like to make a motion to.
I will second that.
You want to second it?
Jack did.
You second it?
Yep.
Okay. All in favor signify
I
by
have to do a
aye.
voice,
Or
I have to
roll
do,
call.
I have to do a roll call, yeah, sorry. Dr. Chavez,
Aye, yes.
Mr. Gambala,
Yes,
Mr. Manasopoulos. 3 ayes, 0 nays on the
motion carried.
approval for that.
Okay. Any other reports or correspondence? Wayne, anything? No?
Nope.
All right, payment of the bills. We have Water District APVs for $15,538.53, and water utility APVs of a total of $549,359.55. Any questions on that from any of the members?
No, sir.
Hearing
I'd like
none,
to make a motion
to approve both.
the EPVs as presented.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
Okay. All in favor, signify, okay. Roll call, please.
Can we do these separately, just so it's clear for the record? Can we get a motion on the water district APVs first, since that's on the agenda that way?
Separate?
Sorry?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can make a motion to, as presented with the water district.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor,
All right, so,
roll call.
sorry. Sorry. So Dr. Chavez,
Aye.
Mr. Gambala,
Aye.
Mr. Menisopoulos. Okay, 3 ayes, 0 nays. And then the water utility APVs.
Okay, that's for $549,359.55. Need a motion.
I'll make a motion to the water utility as presented.
There's a second.
I will second that.
Roll call.
Dr. Chavez,
Aye.
Mr. Gambala,
Aye.
Mr. Menisopoulos. 3 ayes, 0 nays.
Okay, any public comment? No further comment or questions? Motion to adjourn. Your second, please.
There's a second.
Okay, all in favor? Roll call.
Dr. Chavez,
Aye.
Mr. Gambala,
Aye.
Mr. Menisopoulos.
Motion adjourned.